Good morning, Pokefans. Welcome back to a brand new video. Happy Saturday to everyone. My name is Matt and welcome to Season 8 where we climb the rank ladder, hoping to get to Master Ball tier using a team that we built from scratch. I do apologize if my energy levels are low. I didn't get very much sleep last night and it's definitely hard in the morning when you don't get that much. So in the last episode, we beat Master Ball. We got it. We hit it. I don't know what rank we are currently, and I don't know what the percentages are. I forgot to add them yesterday. It was kind of a busy day. So there's that. Filming the podcast today with the buds here in about, I want to say about an hour or so. Should give me plenty of time to get this video out to you guys and into your hands while I'm recording with them, and then we will then edit and go on with our merry way for the rest of the weekend, and that way you guys can enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope that you guys like the content. If you wouldn't mind doing the YouTube things now, that would be perfect. We have a goal for July to hit 400 subs by the end of the month. It is July 22nd, so we've got 9 days left, and I believe that we can hit that number with your help. So liking the video, leaving a comment, and subscribing, and you can turn the bells on if you'd like to notify you when I release content. I do release Pokemon content Monday through Saturday, all of July. And I might go back to Monday through Friday in August, but if I do that, maybe I'll lower down the matches from maybe like 5 to like 4 or something like that. Something a little bit more comparable, because these matches do take a long time to record. Not because of the fact that the matches, it's just there's so much, right? So just kind of lower down sometimes. So we'll give that a try for August and see how everything goes. And I like to try to hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year. And again, I believe we can hit that with your help. So thank you in advance. And let's get into today's video with our first match of the day. Match number 86. All right, our first match is here. We've got Ceruledge, Gastrodon, Goodra, Regular, T-Tar, Scizor, and Talonflame. Interesting. So, what should we do with this particular team? Well, we do have Scizor to contend with. He is incredibly fast with his priority Bullet Punch. So, probably someone that can either counter his Bullet Punch or someone that can knock him out and withstand a Bullet Punch. Everyone else is kind of weird because like T-Tar is going to be doing some sand shenanigans. Goodra, this is not the Hisuian form, so I'm not sure what they were going to do here. But we are going to dispel the potential Talonflame business. We'll bring in Tornadus, Regieleki, Urshifu, and Garchomp. I think that's who we'll bring in. I should bring in Xianpao for Scizor. I don't think he's going to bring it. And if he does, it's probably because of the fact that I have Fluttermane. And he's probably going to assume that I'm going to use it at some point. And I kind of don't want that. Talonflame and Scizor. So we kind of guessed it. So in our first case scenario here, we need to taunt the Talonflame so it doesn't get off any of its stuff. And I don't think I have anything to worry about here. So I think I am just going to hit... yeah, Bug shouldn't do anything to me. So I'm just going to hit Electro Web and call it good there. Now, the opposite could be true, right? Gale Wings could still activate after I do Taunt, which may or may not do anything. But the fact that I have Taunt going into Tailwind and then Electro Web to do a lot of damage, so it should take out... Scizor's going to protect, but it should take out Gale Wings from Talonflame. Now, unless he did like Brave Bird, in which he totally called me out. Nope, it was the Tailwind. Here comes the Electro Up, which is going to do a lot of damage to the Talonflame because he is a flying type. And it's also going to lower its speed. And I'm going to set up with my own Tailwind now. And I'm going to Electro Web again. This way I can continue lowering down the speed of my opponent. He withdrew Talonflame, which is a good call. Bring out Gastrodon. That's going to negate the damage that I would have done to the Gastrodon, but I get Tailwind up. Bullet Punch into Regieleki. It shouldn't knock it out. It's not, because it's not very effective. Electro Web. It's not going to do anything to Gastrodon. He's ground, but it is going to hit the Scizor. All right. We'll swap him for Urshifu, and we will hit the Scizor with the Thunderbolt now. We've got Tailwind. We're looking pretty strong. All of our Pokemon are going to be incredibly fast. Now, Ice Beam could be coming out from the Gastrodon. It's not. Bullet Punch into Urshifu isn't going to do anything. Here comes Thunderbolt into Scizor, and it's going to knock it out now. And here comes the Ice Beam. Earth Power, which is good. Definitely going to knock out Regieleki. And we'll go ahead and bring out... We'll bring out Garchomp. Yeah. Right now we can't use any water attacks since Gastrodon's on the field, but we could still use our tried and true method of close combat. So we'll use that on the Gastrodon, and then we will Dragon Claw the Talonflame. They're going to Terra. It's most likely going to be to the Gastrodon. Yes, it is. And it's going to be Grass. Are you hoping that I'm just going to Earthquake my own teammate and just leave Talonflame alone? That's not a good choice here, bud. We're going to attack Talonflame. Going to knock him out. Now, the other awful choice I could have picked is to, you know, maybe I'll do that next turn. I could have protected and done nothing, or I could have literally just did Earthquake. Here comes the Terra Blast, which is going to go into the Garchomp. Nope, Urshifu. We're just going to knock him out. With the -1 special defense and defense, it's inevitable. But I do have 2 Pokemon still in the back. Well, no longer 2. But I have Tornadus now, and I don't really have anything to worry about, so to speak. We'll go ahead and probably Terra our Garchomp now, because now there's a Goodra on the field. We will Bleak Wind. Wait, how many turns do I have until Wind left? I have 1. Okay. We'll Bleak Wind and Terra Steel Garchomp, so I can go ahead and just Terra Steel. I'm just gonna go ahead and just Dragon Claw the Goodra. I'm gonna move before Gastrodon, and he's already Terra, so he doesn't really have anything. I haven't seen an item on Gastrodon though. No Life Orb, no leftovers, so it's probably Rocky Helmet. It could have been Sash, but it's really hard to predict. Bleak Wind will miss Goodra, but it will hit the Gastrodon, knocking him out. There he goes. And here comes the Dragon Claw to the Goodra. 1-hit KO. And that is our first win of the video. Let's go. All right, our next match is Torkoal, Lilligant, Fluttermane, Rillaboom, Iron Hands, and Charizard. Pretty good team if I say so myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with Tornadus and Chien-Pao, Fluttermane in the back, and then we will bring out Urshifu. No, yes, maybe. I don't know. So who is Urshifu gonna really take out here? Charizard and Torkoal. It's not going to do anything to Lilligant, Rillaboom, Iron Hands. I mean, it can knock out all 3 of them I don't know if it's going to do it in one turn. Most likely Lilligant though. Fluttermane, but not Iron Hands, not Rillaboom. It will take out the Torkoal since it's not in the sun, but we do have something to turn off sun. So I'm going to go with Garchomp. I'm going to go with Garchomp. Hisuian Lilligant is really interesting. Instead of it being special based, it's physically based. So you can literally give it moves like Quiver Dance that would make it a little bit more useful. So I do like that idea. Does Quiver Dance raise attack or does it only do special? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. I believe it's both, but I could be wrong. Iron Hands and Fluttermane versus Chien-Pao and Tornadus. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just do Tailwind and Protect with the Chien-Pao. This is a pretty good opening. I wasn't expecting them to open up automatically with Fluttermane and Iron Hands. They're gonna Terra. Most likely it's gonna be the Fluttermane, and it is. It's gonna be Fairy, because why not? It's most likely gonna be Dazzling Gleam as well. So I'm gonna Protect here. Get off me Tailwind. No Fake Out from the Iron Hands, so that's interesting. Dazzling Gleam does nothing against the Chien-Pao. And will not knock out Tornadus, but Drain Punch, will also do no damage to Chien-Pao. Thank you. All right. So what do I do here? I could swap it to someone else, but I don't think it would be a good idea. At least not with Tornadus. Tornadus, I think, is Dunzo here. I'm gonna Break Wind into Iron, or it's not Break Wind, Bleak Wind, and then I'm going to I could Ice Spinner into Fluttermane. I think that's the best course of action. Ice Spinner into Fluttermane. It's gonna knock it out. Because Drain Punch is gonna do a lot of damage to Chien-Pao. I could swap it out to do my own Fluttermane, but it opens it up for Dazzling Gleam, and I don't really want to do that. Heavy Slam will now go into Chien-Pao, which will break its sash, but it will not knock it out. Now it is 3 versus 4. Send out Charizard. We'll do Bleak Wind again. And Sucker Punch? I mean, I think protecting here is going to be better. Bleak Wind, it's not going to hurt the Charizard, but it will hit the Iron Hands, which does nothing to him, but Heat Wave from Charizard is going to not hit the Chien-Pao because he's protected, but it is going to hit the Tornadus, which is going to knock him out. But this is why we protected instead of just going ham. Drain Punch, because if I went ham there, I would have put myself in a worse spot. So I'm glad that I protected instead. We're going to come out with Fluttermane now. Tornadus is gone, but I do have 2 more turns of Tailwind, I believe. Get the energy or booster energy activated with the speed that's heightened, including Tailwind. Oh, Tailwind only lasts 1 more turn. Okay. Question is this enough to knock out Iron Hands? Probably not. We will Terra Moonblast into Iron Hands, and I will swap into Garchomp. I don't want to lose Chien-Pao right now, so swapping to Garchomp is going to make me neutral to the Heat Wave. And they've already Terra'd, so they only have their natural typings now. And I took out one of the biggest threats of the team. I don't know if they still have... Well, I've seen 3 of the Pokemon. I don't think it's going to be Lilligant or Torkoal. I mean, Torkoal could still come out, for sure. But I'm going to be under Trick Room. Well, no, not anymore, but I will have a greater offense than they're going to be able to provide for defense. So, maybe not? I'm not sure. It's Rillaboom. Grassy Field, which is going to affect everyone except for Charizard. Grass Seed activates on Rillaboom. I just have to worry about Fake Out. Let's go ahead and do Shadow Ball on the Rillaboom. And I'm gonna protect on Garchomp. Okay, so I apologize for that. I had a really important message come through. Fluttermane lives with barely any HP. Garchomp will also live, but we have Rillaboom at 2/4 and... or at least a third, maybe a fourth of its health, and Charizard with no damage taken whatsoever. Shadow Ball did do a lot of damage to Rillaboom, so this should set it up for the KO now. And Garchomp took very little damage because of Protect. We're going to start doing damage to the Charizard now, so we can max him out as much as we can. I think Rillaboom was going to go for the Fake Out and went into the Garchomp instead. So we'll lower its special attack for Rillaboom, but almost knock it out. Heat Wave will come in and will knock out the Fluttermane. That's interesting. That Charizard's faster than Garchomp. That means it must be Scarfed. Drum Beating almost knocks out Garchomp, but Garchomp will stand, and its speed is also dropped. But I also get a little bit of HP due to grassy terrain. Chien-Pao will now come out on my side of the field. Now, I believe that Charizard is Scarfed, so I'm going to go ahead and just Sucker Punch because it hasn't done anything else besides Heat Wave. And I'm just going to go Dragon Claw right into the Rillaboom. Sucker Punch into Charizard's going to knock him out. Dragon Claw right into Rillaboom. Going to knock him out. And we won our second match. Congratulations. All right. For match number 3, here we got Hisuian Arcanine, Rillaboom, Urshifu, Fluttermane, Landorus, and Tornadus. And these are the incarnate forms. So not Therian. So we do have to worry about Sheer Force for Landorus and obviously Tailwind and Taunt from Tornadus. But we do also have to worry about whether or not that we're going to get Faked Out from Rillaboom. And then we have our contenders, Hisuian Arcanine with Intimidate and Urshifu, which has Aqua Jet and other Prior moves. It also could be Single Strike and not Rapid Strike. I'm always assuming Rapid Strike because everyone was using it, but now everyone's bringing in Single Strike. It's going to be one of those Pokemon that no one really expects anymore. Or he's going to start climbing the ladder pretty darn quick here. And we have Flutter Mane just to make sure that we outspeed everything on the field. So I think the best course of action in here is to bring in Tornadus. Keep saying Landorus for some reason. I apologize. Garchomp, Chien-Pao, and Flutter Mane. We'll leave Regieleki and Urshifu behind. I want to be able to knock out their Pokemon pretty consistently, and I want to also set myself up for success. I would like to have brought in Regieleki, but I don't know if they're going to open with Tornadus, and they did open Tornadus and Flutter Mane, so we kind of did get the call out there. Booster Energy will activate with the Flutter Mane, boosting its special attack. So we're gonna have to forego our... Actually, we can't. We have to taunt the Tornadus right away so that we can Terra Steel, Terra Blast into the Flutter Mane to knock it out. Because it's going to probably Terra Fairy this turn so that they can take full advantage of that special attack boost. I was gonna say we have to go into Tailwind right away so that we can outspeed it, but Tornadus also knows Tailwind and we cannot let it get off. So our taunt will go off first. We are the faster of the two. He fell for it. Mental Herb? No Mental Herb. Tailwind falls. Dazzling Gleam comes out of the Flutter Mane. It's not going to do anything to the Garchomp. Does half damage to Tornadus, and here comes the Terra Blast from Garchomp from my side of the field into that Flutter Mane, and it is going to one-hit KO. See, I would have not had lasted that turn if I did things differently, and I'm glad that I did that instead of the alternative. Sends out Rillaboom next. It's a good fake out coverage person, but I'm going to protect here with Garchomp to get a little bit more of that HP back. And I'm going to go ahead and activate Bleak Wind on my side of the field. I'm going to do damage to the Rillaboom and hopefully the Tornadus. I would use Tailwind on my side, but right now I don't have a reason to use it. If I do survive this turn, I will do it. Tornadus avoids it, and so will Rillaboom. And Tornadus will come, or enemy Tornadus will use Icy Wind to lower down my speed. We'll take the Tornadus down to 6 HP, and Rillaboom uses Knockoff. So no damage went to Garchomp this turn, but I will heal up quite a bit. Okay, now since Tornadus has very little HP left, I'm going to go ahead and use the Tailwind so that I get a little bit of effect from that. Let's see, what am I going to do here? Tornadus probably seems to be the problem. And who do I have in the back again? Tailwind, and I'm going to go ahead and Dragon Claw the Rillaboom. I have Chien-Pao in the back, and I know that Rillaboom is going to be able to survive Ice Spinner. I'm going to lower down his HP by half. Take a little bit of chip damage. Here comes the Icy Wind from Tornadus, which is going to knock out my Tornadus. And drops Garchomp's speed. But we'll see how much damage the U-turn will do. And it won't do anything, which is totally fine. Rough Skin will also do a little bit of damage to Rillaboom, but it goes back to the trainer. And you bring out Arcanine. It's going to drop my stage, or my attack stage 1. And Landorus shook off the taunt. So now we're going to bring out Chien-Pao. You didn't do Intimidate? You didn't do Intimidate. I picked up on that. I hope you know that. I picked up on that. Ice Spinner the Tornadus. And I'm going to protect with Garchomp. I think I protected last turn. I'm not sure. They're going to Terra. It's going to go to the Arcanine. And it's going to be Grass. Assuming that I was going to do Earthquake. I love it when they do that. It's pretty funny. Garchomp will protect, so it gets a little bit more of that HP back. Tornadus is going to act because he's no longer taunted, so here comes the Tailwind. Unfortunately, I'm still pretty fast, so I'm going to go ahead and Ice Spinner into the Tornadus, which is going to knock him out, one hit KO. Now, he will get Tailwind for one additional turn outside of this. And I take off the Grassy Field. Flare Blitz will now hit Jixian Pao, which is going to drop him to Sash. So now I'm going to send out Rillaboom. I'm going to protect with Qian Pao. And I'm going to Dragon Claw. Will Terra Blast do anything? I mean, it should. Will Terra Blast the Rillaboom? Fake Out will go into the Qian Pao. We'll deny that. Arcanine will use Flare Blitz, which is oddly faster. Rough Skin will do a little bit of damage, but it's because of the fact that probably my Tailwind's gone now, so I'm gonna have to try to do the outspeedy thing. But we are now in a little bit of trouble. In a wee bit of trouble here. We do have Fluttermane coming in, though. Boost your energy and will now up my speed to 307. Do we have Tailwind? We do have Tailwind, and you were still faster than Garchomp. That's interesting. Okay. We're gonna Ice Spinner the Rillaboom, and we're going to go ahead and Shadow Ball the Arcanine. Shadow Ball will now go off, activate right into the Arcanine. It is going to do about 2/3, drop it its special defenses as well, and Ice Spinner will now go into the Rillaboom, knocking it out. Grassy Field disappeared, and Arcanine will now Flare Blitz into the Fluttermane, which will knock it out. Tailwind's gone. They have one more turn of Tailwind. I'm going to protect here. I'm probably going to outspeed this Arcanine. It could be Scarfed. I'm not 100% sure. We can risk it for the biscuit. I did attack first, so we're going to give it a try. Arcanine will now get hit with Ice Spinner, and we do attack first into that slot, which would knock it out. Whew! And that, ladies and gentlemen, should be the end of our third match. Alrighty. Ooh, Delphox. Let's go. Okay. We have Tornadus, Urshifu, Scizor, Delphox, Gyarados, and Sandy Shocks. Delphox is someone that just recently got released into the game in a Terra Raid with the hidden ability called Magician. Magician steals any item from any damage from an attack that it deals. So, if you do not want your items stolen, knock out Delphox. But All right, so who do we want to have on our side of the field? We could go what we did before, which was to open up with Tornadus Regieleki. I mean, Gyarados is pretty damning there, but we won't do anything to Sandy Shocks, unfortunately. But we could still do a lot to Scizor, which is probably going to come in because they see Flutter Mane. Yeah, I have a wide assortment of Pokemon that can do definite damage to the team. I don't know what Urshifu is going to do. I don't know if it's Single Strike or Rapid Strike, but I will investigate it myself. Okay, so we'll bring in Tornadus and Regieleki for the Tornadus Open and maybe the Gyarados Open as well, which then is going to be really, really terrible for them. Chien-Pao, and I'll bring in Garchomp after that. I don't want to bring in, like, you could bring in Sandy Shocks, which is going to completely take out the whole reason of bringing in Regieleki, but I think in this particular battle, I do have a greater chance of success. Sandy Shocks and Delphox, both shiny. Congratulations. Okay. So the booster energy will activate on Sandy Shocks, raising its speed. We're gonna taunt the Delphox, and I'm gonna Terra Ice into Sandy Shocks. Usually I would not use my Terra right away, but I don't know what the alternative is to kind of deal with Sandy Shocks because it is electric ground. So this is 2 times weak for its typing, and I'm not going to take any. I'm not going to take hardly any damage because of the typing. But it's also going to Terra, and it's going to be Sandy Shocks, and you are going to be electric. Just straight up electric. So you could possibly knock out Tornadus this turn, depending on what you do. I use Taunt on Delphox, hoping that it used a setup move, and it fell for it. No Mental Herb. Terra Blast from Regieleki is going to go into Sandy Shocks. Not going to do 2 times, but it is going to do about half. Sandy Shocks use Gravity, so everyone's now attached to the ground. And Delphox was definitely going to be using Hypnosis. Cannot now. Good luck with that. We're going to go ahead and use Tailwind. And then... oh, we could... their ground typing is now gone. I can hit this thing for a lot of damage. But I'm going to hit it again. Actually... yeah, I'm going to hit it again. Yeah. I'm going to hit again. I was going to protect in the thought process of, okay, well, Delphox can't do a setup move. They didn't switch him out, which means they're going to have to do something else. But I'm going to force them to do everything that they can to do everything else. So this is going to get it down to about 80%. Thunderbolt will go into the Tornadus, which will knock it out. And here comes Delphox, which is going to do a move. I'm not sure which one. Maybe if super effective because Regieleki is ice. Heat Wave, and it will knock it out. And at this point, I'm okay with it because of the fact of the alternative. I believe I have the Pokemon I need in the back. And fortunately, I do. Chien-Pao and Garchomp. And with Sword of Ruin now active, we're going to go ahead and Earthquake everything on the field, and Chien-Pao is just going to protect himself. And with Delphox still taunted, it can't protect. I don't know what Sandy Shocks is going to do, but it's going to get a Rude Awakening from a stab boosted life orb, you know, attack of Earthquake. And I go first because Tailwind said so. So I'm okay with how the turn went out. Double KO, so now we are looking at a 2-2 record. Oh, let's go. is the last two? Brings out Urshifu. It is Rapid Strike. And Scizor. Which is shiny. Dope. Okay. So we will go ahead and Dragon Claw. Into Urshifu. We will Sucker Punch into Scizor. Yes. Sucker Punch into Scizor. Gonna hit it. Oh, almost knock it out because of a crit. Bullet Punch will now hit the Chien-Pao, which will break its sash. Will break it break it to its sash. Just barely holding on. Dragon Claw will now hit Urshifu, which will knock it out due to a crit. Oh my god. That was a really, really strong crit there. We're just going to go ahead and hit the Dragon Claw and the Sucker Punch on the Scizor. And I think that's game. Sucker Punch will now hit Scizor, and we went 4-0 so far. What is this? Why couldn't I have this record 2 days ago? What? I would have been in Master Ball sooner, and Jesus, we're now catching up with the wins losses. That's awesome. Dude, if we go 5-0 today, I'm just going to be so excited. I'm super excited. And for our last match of the day, we are looking at a Tornadus, Heatran, Urshifu, Fluttermane, Iron Bundle, and Therian Landorus. Now, we have no fake out pressure, but we do have pressure from Tailwind, which is from the Tornadus. Heatran, who has definite strong coverage, which it's Fire Steel typing. The only way that I can really knock it out is ×4 weakness to ground attacks. So I'm probably more likely to bring out Garchomp this time just to take it out, or at least have a chance of dealing with it. However, that being said, because Tornadus is out on the field and I do have a Therian Landorus to worry about as well, I will have to kind of try to figure out a better way to deal with this team. Urshifu, which is Single Strike or Rapid Strike, and then we have the fastest Pokemon in the team, which is Fluttermane and Iron Bundle. Either one of these could have Booster Energy, which then boosts their speed up to 307 and 309 considerably. So what are we going to do with this team? Obviously, we do have to bring in our own Tornadus. That's 100% a given. We need to bring in our own Fluttermane, Garchomp, and Chien-Pao. We'll leave Urshifu and Regieleki alone. Only because the fact that I only had 2 seconds to decide what I'm going to bring in, just so that I can throw my weight against the other team. I don't know if this is going to work. We might go 4-1, but I'm going to believe we're going to hit 5-0 today, because why not? Let's do it. Tornadus and Fluttermane against my Tornadus and Fluttermane. Booster Energy will activate on my side of the field. It doesn't look like they have one, so it must be on Quark Drive. So Iron Bundle has the Booster Energy. I'm going to taunt the fellow Tornadus over there. Terra. And I'm going to use... Well, I can use Imprison, and it can't use Moonblast or Shadow Ball. Would that be the call? Yeah, we'll use Imprison. We'll see what happens. We'll make them we'll force them to switch out that Fluttermane. I'm going to Terra Fairy first. They'll probably do the same. But with Imprison, they can't use Shadow Ball or Moonblast. So Taunt will now hit the Tornadus. We're going to see if it falls for the item. No item use. Imprison. So now they're going to be locked into whatever move that they use. So Thunderbolts, which is going to be knocking out my Tornadus, but that's okay because I can't get Tailwind and neither can A. So now with Imprison on the field, they can't use Moonblast or Shadow Ball. They can still use Dazzling Gleam, but so far we have no item use on that side of the field for the Fluttermane. I'm going to bring out Chien-Pao to Ice Spinner into Tornadus and Shadow Ball into their Fluttermane. They might be locked in permanently to Thunderbolt. I'm sorry. Could be. I don't know. No HP dropped, so no life orb. I got that. No booster energy, and right now I'm the fastest thing on the field outside of this Tornadus that can obviously use Prankster, but I'm going to remove it from the field now. The Altera, it's going to be the Fluttermane. It's going to be Terra Fairy. It's probably going to take away its weakness from the Shadow Ball, which is totally fine. Shadow Ball will now go into that slot, which will do about half. Ice Spinner is now going to go into Tornadus, which will knock it out. And Dazzling Gleam will now come out from that Fluttermane, so it's not Scarfed or Specked, which is what I was assuming that it would be. Maybe with Imprison, it made it so that it couldn't use certain moves. I know two of them for sure, Thunderbolt and Dazzling Gleam. We now have Iron Bundle hitting the field, which is going to activate its Quark Drive. So Chien-Pao is now going to go ahead and activate Sucker Punch onto that. And I'm going to Moonblast the... Actually, would that be beneficial? Preserving my Pokemon is probably like the best one. So maybe protecting. Yeah, we'll protect Chien-Pao and I'll Moonblast into their Fluttermane. Because if that's Icy Wind, I'll be able to survive. Icy Wind does come out from the Iron Bundle. Chien-Pao will protect. I lose a little bit of speed from Fluttermane, but is it going to be enough to drop my speed down enough to not outspeed the other one? And it is. It will not do anything to Chien-Pao, but it's definitely going to knock out my Fluttermane with no problem. I wasn't thinking that it would not take it down that far. He didn't use booster energy, and I have 307. Interesting. I'll have to look that calc up. All right, so Chien-Pao and Garchomp now sit on the field against these two competitors. We're going to Sucker Punch against the Iron Bundle, and we're going to protect with the Garchomp because my Terra was used up already and I can't use another one. So I'm going to protect the Garchomp, Sucker Punch into Iron Bundle. He's going to Freeze Strike the Garchomp, which isn't going to do anything because it's under Protect. And Dazzling Gleam will now miss the Garchomp, but it will not miss the Chien-Pao, unfortunately. If I had saved my Terra, this probably would have been a different match because I could have protected with Chien-Pao and then got the ball rolling a little bit more with Garchomp. I might have been able to knock out both of these Pokemon. Unfortunately, though, Freeze Dry is definitely going to take me down. I would like to know what that Fluttermane was using, though. It wasn't Scarfed. Maybe Pixie Plate? Freeze Dry will hit the Garchomp, will knock it out, and we go 4-1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are done with today's video. We ended the week at 16,896 in Season 8, the Master World tier, with 90 battles, with 41 wins and 49 losses. We'll go ahead and add that to the calc now so that we do not lose out on that for future reference. So we got 41 and 49. Bringing our record back up to a 46%. We now match what we did for Season 7, which is great, fantastic, and I love it. Now, what did we learn? Don't always Terra Fluttermane. It's probably a bad idea. I don't know what that other Fluttermane was doing, but I do like it. It was pretty interesting to say the least. Imprison did not help out at all because they had, you know, Dazzling Gleam and Thunderbolt, and they were able to swap to do many different things and withstand a lot of different attacks. So that was pretty interesting. And even though I have the calc here with the booster energy putting me at 307 with the minus speed, it should put me back down to 205, and they still outsped me. I'm not, maybe it's because I start at 205 and then I go down to 136. Ouch. Ouch, that's a lot. That's a lot. Anyway, so there's that. With protosynthesis and quark drives, it's really interesting, especially in the calculator, which is I wish they would like put this in for the ability, because it does the physical stats, it's not a speed advantage, right? It's not a buff like you were to do like Sword Stance. It does the actual speed and doubles that by 50%, which is what you get your 307 from. It becomes incredibly fast because it raises your stat, like the actual stat, and that's not like a boost that is calced easily, I guess. Anyway, we are looking at a 4-1 record, but I would have, with the -1, I would have went down to 136 or around there, which definitely would have lowered me quite a bit. But that also tells you -1 in speed hurts you badly. That's a 70 point like drop. Ouch. Ouch. So yeah, there's that. Piloting the team today was different, and I don't know if it's just because of the fact that I didn't get a lot of sleep yesterday and I have little to no energy, or it's the fact that I'm actually learning. I do believe that when you grab a team and you put it through the ringer, as much as I have the last 2 seasons, you start to really understand and fully comprehend what your team is capable of. And yes, there are some Pokemon that I could definitely swap out from, but we just need to get into the motion of, I know that I could do this. I know that Pokemon could change. But I also do know that sometimes you can find the hidden gems in the rough. And I love that I found it, that I thought that I would never get this far with this team. I thought this team was like, oh, I got to Ultra Ball and that's it. No, we're Master Belt here. We're keeping the series alive. We are going to now aim for sub 10,000 the number, and we're going to get more than 100 matches. Like, you guys have another 30 matches next week. Another 30 matches next week. That's 120 games. If you guys want to see the groupings of this video later on, that's gonna be so many matches for you guys to watch, and you guys can watch it if you like. It's gonna be great. I'll post it for you guys. It's just gonna be this series, but with 20 matches in every one. It's gonna be great. I hope you guys like it. But with that all being said, that's the end of today's video. Please do the YouTubey things by leaving a like, leaving a comment. I do read any and all comments that you guys leave behind, and subscribing. All of those help the channel grow and the videos perform better. And with our goal of hitting 400 subs by the end of July, I believe we can hit it with your guys' help. And at the end of the year, we do have a goal of hitting 1,000 subs. And again, I believe we can hit it with your guys' help. And you can turn on the bell if you'd like. My Uncle Mike says that they help out quite a bit, and it lets you guys know of when I release content next. But without further ado, that's it for me this weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Happy Saturday. Drink some water. It's going to be hot today. At least in the Pacific Northwest, it's going to be really hot. I'm already roasting, and I maybe turned off my air conditioner off an hour ago. So you can already tell how well today's going to be. But I'll see you guys on Monday. Thanks again, and I'll see you then. Enjoy your weekend. See you later.